Hi everyone! Today we're going to be starting my speed build mini-series where I'm turning Magnolia Promenade into all multifunctional lots, and this is my first speed build that I'm uploading to my channel, so I'm pretty excited. I have all of the shells for this world built because that took me forever to map out how the layout of the buildings was going to be, but as of right now, between the 4 lots, there'll be about 14 or 15 different buildings and things for your Sims to come and do in this world. So yeah, at the time I'm recording this voiceover, I have only finished this build. So if anyone has any suggestions about things they'd like to see in this mini-series, then feel free to suggest them in the comments down below. For this build, we have 3 community lots wrapped into one. This is a wedding dress store, a cafe, and a hookah lounge and bar space, and I think they turned out so cute. This is technically a retail lot, so you're able to come buy the wedding dresses that you'll see on the mannequins and everything, but the cafe and hookah lounge are functional as well, and they're even more functional using one of my absolute must-have mods, which is Auto-Employees by littlemisssam. I've definitely talked about this mod in other videos before, but basically it's a lot trait that you can add to your lot, and then you can click on any door on the lot, and it allows you to hire different NPCs to automatically spawn there. So for this lot, I can hire a bartender and a barista so that the lot feels alive and I don't have to hire them myself with my own hard-earned simoleons, because that kind of breaks the immersion for me. I actually had some people ask me this on my last video about how I make multi-purpose lots feel more lively, and that's the #1 way for me. It works for tons of different types of NPCs. You can have spa workers on your lot, buskers playing guitar, vendors for your food stalls, all types of stuff. All you need is to have the item on your lot that they require, and then it will give you the option. So obviously you need a bar to hire a bartender, you know, like common sense. By the way, if you're looking at my roof textures and thinking like, oh, that's custom content, I can't download this, I use an override by k-hippie that replaces a lot of the in-game roof textures, but it's totally fine to download and it'll have the regular roof textures in your game if you wanted to download this lot. So I'll link the override for you down below though. Personally, I love them and I think they really enhance the aesthetic of my game. And I actually made a video recently about the lighting mods and overrides and all the stuff I use in my game, so if you're curious about that, you can check out that video too. I'll get a little bit more into the specifics of this build once we move on to the interior, but I wanted to talk about my plans for this series a little bit. So one of the builds is going to have apartments on it, and it'll be a residential rental with a gym and like a food stall, so it'll still be multi-purpose since obviously you don't need to live there in order to use the gym or anything. And I'm also planning on including a bakery somewhere, a jewelry store and crystal shop, probably a library, another bar space, and maybe a nightclub, and then a few places to eat as well. So I have some ideas, but yeah, again, I'm taking suggestions if anyone has ideas, but you're only allowed to comment. If you won't be sad if I don't pick your suggestion, because there's only so much space on these lots and in this tiny world. I feel like in general, I'm a bit more of a simplistic builder. Like, I want my builds to feel detailed, but not overwhelming, I guess, just because that's what I prefer for my gameplay. I like them to feel realistic, but when there's just too much happening on my screen at once, I find that I just get a little bit lost and it's harder for me to focus on gameplay. So yeah, that's especially why I like multi-purpose lots, because it kind of separates the lot into smaller and more manageable chunks rather than a huge build with one purpose. But sometimes I do like that too. Like in my San Sequoia must-have lots video, the first thing that comes to mind is the skating rink build that I showed off there. That's a huge build with one main purpose, but the creator managed to separate it off into like a cafeteria space, locker rooms, a bar area, and it's all just so cohesive. So I think it depends on the approach to the lot, but personally, I feel like I'm better at smaller and more individual sections in a lot, so you'll probably notice that in this video and throughout this whole build series. I've now started working on the cafe, and this part probably came together the easiest for me. I kind of got my vision right away. I just wanted a small, simple, but still a little bit fancy vibe in a way. Not like rich, wealthy, but kind of just clean, sleek, cozy, like the kind of place I would want to go and just read a book, grab a drink, study, draw, you know, that kind of place. Speaking of studying, I figured I'd let y'all know that I just recently got accepted into grad school. So in the fall, I'll start my master's program in English literature, as one of my main goals is to become an English professor. So yeah, eventually I'll need a PhD and stuff for that, but I'm so excited about it. Right now, I'm on a gap year, just working, and obviously I started this channel, but I'm definitely going to make it a priority to keep up with my channel while I'm in grad school as fast as I can. I will be like a TA, and I'll also be busy with classes, but doing this has been so much fun for me, so I won't be going anywhere. But yeah, I figured this video would be a good time to let y'all know about that because I'm really excited about it. So yeah, kind of random for this speed build, but like, what, am I only meant to talk about this build? Like, you gotta hear me chat a little bit in between. But yeah, I'm gonna be moving to a new city, I think in June, even though I just moved to a new city after graduating college, so it's kind of a lot, but I went and toured the school a few days ago and it's really beautiful. So I'm feeling so excited, and I do kind of miss being in that academic environment. So plus I only have to move like 3 hours away this time. Last time I moved, I had to drive like 10 hours away and I just packed everything I had into my car and drove there overnight, and it was really a struggle, but I've had fun living where I'm at for a year and I'm excited to live somewhere else now. So I have a feeling that once I move back into a college area, I'll probably be inspired to do a bunch of university type builds and possibly gameplay, because I mean, obviously being a grad student is a bit different of a vibe than being an undergrad, but I will be back on campus and it's still a new school for me. So also some of my favorite gameplay has always been university, even since The Sims 3, which was my first expansion pack, besides the pets expansion, because I didn't know the expansion packs existed for a long time, and the version of The Sims 3 that I got was bundled with pets, so that's just all I knew. But yeah, I remember when I first found out about the university expansion, I was mind blown. I remember seeing Life Simmer's University LP thumbnail, and I'd never watched any Sims content before, and I didn't know about custom content. I didn't even know about expansion packs, and yeah, in that moment, my life was just, it was never the same. Now we're moving on to the hookah lounge, and honestly, the downstairs was a struggle for me at first. I had no idea what to put down there, so I actually just skipped it and I did it towards the end. But the upstairs came together really easily for me. I mean, I just put a bunch of the bubble blowers and then decorated, you know, that's all you really need. And there's also a balcony space on the second floor, which also has a keg and just some more outdoor seating and stuff. But yeah, I really wanted the lighting to be dark and all of the colors and the decor to really come through. And I just think it looks really cool. Like I said, I think it's my favorite part of the build. I'm also really proud of the sign that I made for this part of the build, like the clouds behind the lettering. It's really simple, but I think it's so cute, and I think it makes it easier to tell what the building is meant to be, because we're very limited sometimes in what signs we have for community lots. Like, some of them, especially the ones that come and get to work, I have seen so many times that they give me the ick a little bit. Like, There are some that I will never use because I've just seen them so many times. Honestly, one of my ideal kits would be community lot decor, like a ton of signs for buildings, both for the walls and freestanding, more awnings, clutter like wet floor signs, mop buckets, hand dryers, all of that stuff that I tend to use custom content for in the CC friendly builds that I do. I just want that in game because they add that touch of realism that just makes it feel like an actual community space, you know? Water fountains too. I talked about that in my high school CC Essentials video, but after having custom content versions of water fountains, like, I want that so bad in the game. I don't know if they would ever make that, but I wouldn't think that would be too hard compared to the other kits that don't have gameplay but just in-game assets, you know? And lately, EA has been giving the community a lot of stuff that we thought we wouldn't ever get, like specifically apartments for rent, even though they are bugged to hell and back. It is pretty cool that we have them, and right now I don't tend to play in them because I love building and decorating, and switching to build mode is an actual nightmare in terms of how laggy it is, but I do like to use them to just pack townies into them so that the world feels full with Sims that actually live there. So yeah, maybe one day. Another one of my dream kits is a pack similar to the CC set made by Sibilet called Cheap and Chipped, and it's just a bunch of really old, cheap, tattered, stained furniture. And EA has made some stuff like that recently, specifically in the Basement Treasures kit that has some nice furniture that looks like that, but I need more. I need folding tables, ripped to hell couches, stained comforters, and in general, messier looking beds. Like, I want an unmade bed in the game because a lot of my Sims don't seem like the type of people that would make their beds every day, so that would just offer some extra storytelling, and I think that would be really cute. Since this is a retail lot, as I said earlier, I had people asking how I make multi-purpose lots feel more lively, and one way that I do this, especially for retail lots, is using the club system. You can create a club either with your own Sims, or also you can make one with some other townies and have this be their meeting spot, and then set their activities to be the things that you want the Sims to be doing. So you could have a club meet here and their main activity is to use the bubble blower, so that the Sims aren't only in the bridal shop, but they're in the hookah lounge too. For this lot specifically, I would drink coffee, drink bar drinks, use the bubble blower, that type of stuff. I usually have my Sims in a club with their friends, and then depending on the lot that I'm visiting, I'll change the activities that they'll autonomously do. So if I want them to have a painting day at the park, I'll have their activities be painting and socializing, but then I'll change them if we're visiting a different lot, you know? So I hope that description helps because it really helped me enjoy my gameplay more on these types of lots. Also, let me know for my next speed build in this mini-series if you have any other questions for me to answer, whether it's about The Sims or about myself, just because I figure it's fun during these longer talking type of videos for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, and it gives me something specific to talk about rather than just rambling on about my build and The Sims and stuff. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions for me to answer. I also wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support on my channel recently. It is so heartwarming and just a little bit overwhelming. I actually just became a YouTube partner, which is crazy. When I started, I honestly never thought that would happen, so it's really cool. And yeah, I just love making these videos for you guys, and yeah, I just started making videos that I had fun doing and I knew I would enjoy watching as a very active Sims player. So I'm so glad a lot of you enjoy them, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to making more for you guys in the future. So yeah, thank you all so much for that. I have a lot of fun videos planned for you guys. Obviously, I'm going to be working on this build series, and I'm also working on my next lots for every world video, which is so exciting because I know y'all love those videos and I love seeing the finished product, even though they take a really long time to make. Not only in finding all the lots, since a lot of them are lots that I already loved and had saved to my gallery, but I don't have every kind of lot for every world downloaded, so some of them I have to search for or occasionally make myself, but I don't mind doing that. But yeah, with finding all the lots and then filming at all of the lots and editing it all together, it takes a while, but it's totally worth it to me. I love seeing the finished product, and I think it's a good resource for people when you're playing in a certain world. You have options for so far nightclubs, bars, restaurants, and all the ones that I'll do in the future. So yeah, you can look forward to that. I'll also be filming another must-have lots for a certain world video soon. In my personal save file, I have a lot of the worlds made over already, so those are a lot of fun to make and show off the amazing gallery builds out there for the different worlds. I just think that's so cool. So let me know what worlds you'd want to see sooner rather than later, because I do plan on doing all the worlds at some point, but some I have made over in my personal save already, so they're easier for me to film, and others will take longer to put together, obviously. And also some are a lot bigger than others, like Windenburg, for example. She's gonna be a bitch to put together because there are so many lots in that world, but it'll still be fun. So yeah, let me know what you would like to see sooner rather than later down the line. I did a poll last time to have you guys choose between Copperdale and Sulani because I couldn't make up my mind, but Copperdale ended up winning like 2/3 to 1/3, and so I might do Sulani next, but I don't know, there are a few that have piqued my interest recently, specifically Henford-on-Bagley, Tartosa, and I plan on doing Oasis Springs at some point soon, but it's a base game world and there are so many good lots for it because everyone has it, so I just have a lot to consider with that one if I'm gonna classify the lots as must-have, even though, let's be real, they're just my must-have lots. I don't expect them to be everyone's, but they're just some of my personal favorites that I love for gameplay, obviously. At this point in the build, I've gone through and added wedding outfits to all of the mannequins, and they're not all dresses because, I mean, not everyone is trying to wear a dress to their wedding, but most of them are dresses. But yeah, it's all formal wedding attire on all of them. So I really think adding the outfits to them brings the whole build together, and I'm just really happy with how everything has turned out for this build. With that, I'll probably leave this voiceover here and let the music play out and finish the build. This will, of course, be on my gallery page at SimGrays, and yeah, let me know in the comments what types of builds I should add in this series, if you have any good ideas for community lots, and there will be some screenshots at the end. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build and that you'll stick around for the rest of the series, as well as a bunch of the other videos I have planned that I talked about earlier. And yeah, I'm really excited for y'all to see them. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video.